Hi, Tom. How are you?
I am very well. I'm curious your thoughts. I've been reading your blog actually, so I think I know your thoughts. But your most recent, up to the moment thoughts on this piece of legislation that just passed.
Well, I'm breathing the same sigh of relief most people are breathing around the country in terms of, not defaulting on the nation's debt, which would have caused interest rates to rise for everybody. Anybody with a variable rate mortgage or an auto loan or a credit card loan, I mean, everybody would be in even deeper soup than they're in right now if we had defaulted on our debt. But I'll tell you, I'm sick about the agreement that we had to capitulate to, the ransom we had to pay in order to get Republican support for this, lifting the debt ceiling and paying what we owe on our debts. I mean, it's a case of hostage taking of the worst order. Not only is the agreement unfair, the rich are not going to have to pay anything, and a lot of middle class and poor people are going to be burdened by this. But it also robs the president of the ability to boost the economy, to have a jobs program, to do anything about unemployment right now, or the fact that the economy is dead in the water.
Isn't that pretty much exactly what the Republicans want? I've been saying for a long time they're going to blow up the economy in order to run against him and in 2012 on the basis of a bad economy.
I'm afraid that's probably right, Tom. I mean, I'm as somebody who's worked in Washington, I want to believe the best about people, be they Republican or Democrat. But I think that there is a desire among at least some Republicans to keep unemployment high and keep the economy basically dead right through the election, so that they can get rid of Obama. I mean, Mitch McConnell and other Republicans have said their number one priority. Number one priority. This is not, even given jobs, unemployment, given the housing crisis, given everything else, their number one priority is getting rid of Barack Obama. I mean, if that doesn't tell it all, I don't know what does.
You were the labor secretary to President Clinton. You've worked inside the White House. You've seen the sausage factory from the inside. I'm curious your thoughts on why back in December of last year, when the president was asked by a reporter for the National Journal, who apparently had some inside information, he basically laid this out. He said, why didn't you ask for a debt ceiling increase as part of the deal to extend the Bush tax cuts for 2 years? Because now the Republicans are going to hold that hostage and they're going to demand draconian cuts that you wouldn't otherwise go along with, later next year. And the president said, well, how are they going to have leverage over me? And then the guy laid it all out, and the president said, well, I take John Boehner at his word. I don't believe that's going to happen. And I think a lot of us are a little mystified by that. Is it possible that I don't even want to characterize it beyond that. I'm just curious your thoughts on that.
Tom, I met with the president in January, and the same issue came up, and he seemed to think that it would not be a problem. Anybody looking at what the Republicans have done over the last couple of years, the hostage taking they did over, you name it, over the Wall Street financial regulation, over health care, over the stimulus package, over everything else. They continued to make demands that pushed all of these things way to the right. Yeah. And why wouldn't they make outrageous demands on the debt ceiling?
He did actually have a deal with John Boehner that did include increasing revenue. In fact, Boehner later went on the floor of the House in a speech that I think he'll probably regret for the rest of his political career and said, I even put revenue on the table. I think he'd had one too many cocktails.
Look, in a game of highway chicken, there are two rules to win. One is that you convince the other side that you have no choice but to stay and not swerve, that you have no choice, that you're
willing to die.
You're willing to die, and you can't. But the people with you are willing to die. The people with you are having, they basically have a knife to your throat, and you don't have any option. And the second rule of highway chicken, if you want to play highway chicken, and I don't recommend it, is you wait to the last second to swerve.
Right.
And that's exactly what the Republicans did, exactly what John Boehner did. Now, you raise a big and very, very important question. Why did the president not see this? He's not a dumb man. He's not he's a very intelligent person. The only conclusion I can come to is that he at some level, thought he could use the Bill Clinton playbook for winning re-election. In 1996, Bill Clinton, remember, got rid of welfare, became a centrist, decided that even though he'd aggravate the base, the liberal Democratic base, he would triangulate and thereby take the wind out of the sails of the people on the other side, the Republicans and the small government types who were accusing him of being big government. And he even said, the days of big government are over.
Right.
Well, I can't help but think that Barack Obama thought he could do the same thing and use the fight over the debt ceiling to make major inroads on entitlements and look as if that he was much more of a centrist than Republicans wanted to paint him as. Right. The problem, though, for Barack Obama, and it wasn't a problem for Bill Clinton, the problem for Barack Obama is that he's got an economy that is almost dead in the water. Bill Clinton, by 1995, had an economy that was creating a lot of jobs. It was roaring. By it was just a huge success because I was labor secretary, obviously.
I will give you credit for that.
That was a joke.
No, I will give you credit for that.
But Obama doesn't have that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a huge challenge for him.
Yeah. And as I mentioned, I think that he thought, and maybe he's had this deal with John Boehner for a long time, but as recently as just a few days ago, he thought he had a deal with John Boehner, and then Eric Cantor stepped up and put the tip of the knife into the Boehner's kidney and said, one more step forward, buddy, and this is going to be an et tu Brute moment. I'm mangling metaphors here, but. It seems to me that the Tea Party crazies took this thing down, or am I looking at it wrong?
Well, no, they did. But the interesting question from the standpoint of Democratic strategy and Obama strategy is why didn't they see this coming?
Right.
What I'm suggesting to you, Tom, is that maybe they did see. Maybe the White House did see this coming.
And they were too clever by half.
And saw this as an opportunity to whittle back entitlements the way Bill Clinton did on welfare. Right. And therefore appear as a centrist. I can't figure it out any other way. I mean, the White House. There are a lot of Clinton veterans in the current Obama White House. They remember that strategy.
But cutting welfare was not a cornerstone of the Democratic Party. Social Security is. And to put Social Security and Medicare on welfare was important to the Democratic Party. But there was a consensus, I think, in the country in the 90s that it, in many ways, it wasn't working all that well, and times were rolling good, like you point out. I mean, it's a tough one. We just have a half a minute left. What can President Obama do now?
Well, he said just an hour ago, as he kind of celebrated the fact that we're not going to default, he pivoted. He said, now we're going to turn to jobs. But the pathetic thing about what he said was everything he came up with is now almost impossible to do because of this deal.
And because the House just went on a 5-week vacation.
Exactly.
Incredible. Robert Reich, you can read Robert Reich's blogs, his blog and his thoughts over at robertreich.org, and I highly recommend it, as well as his many excellent books, including Supercapitalism and Aftershock, The Next Economy and America's Future. Sir, thanks so much for being with us.
Well, thank you, Tom. Bye-bye.
Great having you.